I am so pleased and honored to have on the line with me a man who is a true American patriot, a true American hero, one of the people who has, without having been elected to high public office, literally transformed this country. The man that I voted for president in 2000, consumer advocate, author, numerous books, including his latest, Return to Sender, Ralph Nader. His website, nader.org. Ralph Nader, welcome back to the program.
Thank you very much, Thom Hartmann.
It is
the most scholarly talk show host in the United States, bar none.
Well, thank you for your kind words, sir. First of all, I want to mention you've got a new book out. It's called Return to Sender, Unanswered Letters to the President, 2001 to 2015. And I'd like to get to that in just a minute, if I may. But first, I wanted to start out with this piece that you published over at Common Dreams on Saturday, May 9th, titled Suddenly Baltimore, Wonder Why. You want to tell us the story of this?
Yes, suddenly the media is alive with all kinds of articles and video and radio on the situation in Baltimore, especially the poorer areas, East Baltimore. You ask yourself, these people have been aggrieved, they've been excluded, disrespected, impoverished, underserviced by municipal services, and often mistreated by the police. So why suddenly all the media? What was the cause of it?
Right.
Was it the shooting of that innocent young man who was looking at the police and just ran away? What was it?
Yeah.
It goes on all the time. I mean, there are reports all over the country where police use excessive force and fatalities or serious injuries result. In this case, it wasn't actually a shooting; it was manhandling the young man.
Right.
It wasn't that. It was a few hundred at the most, young men mostly, smashing windows and cars and burning some stores. And why should that be the cause of all this attention? Do we really have to wait for violence, street violence, to spark the conscience?
It seems like we do.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the tragedy.
Right.
And the one thing that has astonished me, Ralph Nader, is that nowhere in any of the media narrative have I seen footage of Baltimore in the 1950s when it was a thriving manufacturing center where they made everything from precision machine tools to literally socks.
And housing was in great rate. They would repair their areas of residence. They would upkeep the public services, the roads, all those pipes under the streets. I remember I was driving through as a young man. I really couldn't believe in it. Residential area after residential area, relatively low-income people. It was very prosperous, far more populated than it is today. So what kind of message is it to poor people who are really told the only time the media is going to cover your conditions and who's doing it to you is when you erupt and have young men running around at night burning and taking some products from stores? How many times do we have to go through this grisly routine in the 60s and 70s and eruptions in L.A. and Detroit and Newark before we ask ourselves the question, is this what it takes for the politicians to pay attention? Is this what it takes for the rule of law to be imposed on police excessive use of force? Is this what it takes to recognize that municipal services are seriously deficient in poor areas of the city compared to well-to-do areas of the city? Is this what it takes to recognize that the poor are ripped off and gouged by too many merchants? The poor pay more. They have shorter lifespans. They have no hope for upward mobility. There's a study by a university that the Baltimore poor have the least chance for upward mobility than any other poor city in the country. Wow. That's why I wrote the column.
Yeah. And so, in my mind, the solution is bring our manufacturing jobs home, which means, radically change our trade policies and go back to Alexander Hamilton's, 11-point 11 points on manufacturers, going back to tariff-based trade system. What, in your mind, what's the solution?
Bring something else back. Bring the empire back. Bring our soldiers back. Get them trained. Give them free college. Save trillions of dollars. Stop expanding the proliferation of hateful and violent groups all over the Asian area and African. That's what we've gotten for blowing apart Iraq and Afghanistan and into Pakistan since 9/11, and use those trillions of dollars to put people to work repairing America. Every community needs to have their bridges, highways, drinking water systems, sewage systems, libraries, clinics, public transit systems. They're all in disrepair, and they're not modernized. And this is the kind of work that can't be exported to China and other fascist or communist regimes who know how to put workers in their place. The jobs are here, and they improve the community. They're not shuffling paper in Wall Street and speculating with other people's money, pension funds and mutual funds, and sucking them into collapse. I mean, the solutions, Tom, are all here. They're on the shelf. We know how to reconvert from fossil and nuclear to sustainable energy. We know how to build adequate housing. We know how to build adequate public transit. We know how to protect people from consumer and worker abuses. We know how to get rid of corporate welfare and what the right wing calls crony capitalism. There are a lot of left-right support here, back home, in public opinion. But we got to take back our political institutions, especially our Congress. And I always say it takes less than 1% of organized people in congressional districts, that's, say, 3 million people, opening up some full-time Congress watchdog offices and volunteering a couple hundred hours a year each, and you'll completely turn Congress around. There is no Wall Street power. There is no military-industrial power. There are no corporate lobbyists that can stand 1% of the people organized around changes in this country that are supported by a majority of the people, or what Abraham Lincoln called the public sentiment. So let's stop making excuses for ourselves and exaggerating the opposition because there's no one on our side playing the opposite field.
Yeah.